Traders, welcome back to another Relentless recap. Guys, if you have been enjoying the content, right, the YouTube live streams, the recaps, and all of the other content that is here on this channel, guys, be sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe, right? Subscribe to this beautiful channel, Relentless Trading. Everything. Guys, be sure to subscribe, hit that thumbs up button. Before we jump into it, this episode is brought to you guys by Mometic. Guys, Momo Pro offers the best scanners, right? Do not be fooled by trade ideas and all these other things. Trade ideas has the right idea with running away with your money, right? Likewise with this trading dash thing that I've been hearing about. They're dashing away with your cash. Guys, Mometic has the best price point and is giving you everything the other softwares are giving you. So it's a no-brainer. $37 for the full package. And on top of that, code Relentless gives you 25% off. What more do you need in this life? For 6 months, by the way. 25% off for 6 months. So, if you're in need of a scanner, no pressure. This is here. And, on the YouTube channel, there are 2 videos going over, one, the platform, and of course the filters that I use for all of the best stocks, right? So let's jump into the recap. Guys, what a beautiful day, as it always is in the markets. WEBR, $90, 1,800 shares traded. This stock wasn't really one that I thought I would have touched today. It wasn't a gap scanner earlier, right? And I saw it, I said, you know what, man, I don't know, the volume is a little on the lighter side, but whenever a stock, especially if I see it on the watch list, or let's say the gap scanner early, if I see the symbol again intraday making new highs, ding ding ding, light bulb moment, I at least check it out to see what's going on. And this one was pushing up nicely, and I bought the pullbacks, was watching for opportunities, and we did ended up curling up. I caught a nice quick breakout on this thing as well. I think one of my best breakout trades of the day, $68 just with 500 shares. Break of 7, it rips to 720. I got out at 715. That was right over here. And we bought this dip again. We added averaging in beautifully and selling higher into the move. So we noticed that the first 5-minute candle to make the new high was having a hard time right here. That was one of our indicators to get out of the trade. We did attempt going short to short the backside of this move to sell this, but our order was unfortunately rejected. So that wasn't good on WEBR. Moving on. SOBR. This one we took a small loss on. It pushed up for a break of 4. I attempted it. We only had a high of 02. It came back down. And then it ripped up to 20. So I'm like, hey, I had the right idea, but what was going on? Seems like this one to me was getting manipulated. It pulled back here to the 200 EMA. And I noticed, if we look at the daily chart, right, we're kind of flagging along this line. You can see right here around 200, it was a key resistant area, right? We had a lot of resistance, right? Once, twice. You can even say right here as well, right? So you can say 3. This one's a little farther away to high of that candlestick, but definitely right here as well. 4, 5. And this day we broke above and couldn't close above the level. So when it dipped down here, I called it out. But for me, I didn't really look at it too much to consider it for the entry. But you can see how well it really held the level. And if you did buy 365, it did go back to highs of $3.99, $4, which would have resulted into a nice 35-cent move. Not bad at all. But I took a small loss in that for break of 4. Now the stock of the day, TSHA. Now you'll see, unlike the other stocks, this one we traded much more shares, 400,000 shares, and walking away with $2,000, right? $2,000 in the markets, guys. In fact, our final P&L, 2,100 gross. Now, with a day like this, I can sign in. And show you guys you know, how much commissions I'm kind of paying on a day like today. Let me pull this over here for a quick sec. I might sign in and just kind of give you guys an insight as to how much fees you're getting charged when you trade this type of volume, because this is a lot of shares going in and out, right? I spoke to Crispy. He told me this drop here was because of an offering. I didn't double check and confirm that news, but I'll take his word for it. I'm glad this did not happen throughout the day, right? In the power hour, I would have definitely, you know, I was using 5,000 shares in this area here, you know, and even going up to 10,000 in some areas. So I probably would have lost money on this on this drop. But anyhow, early this morning, I still think earlier this morning was some of my best trades. We were very efficient. My very first trade of the day was a loss. I'm in 2,500 shares. All right, we started the day with a low of 220. We pushed to a high of 228. It dips down, and I'm watching the lows of this candle, and I'm like, you know what, man? I think 220 might not be bad. So as it breaks the level, I'm long at 19. It was a tight break. We had a low of 18. It does bounce a little bit, but ultimately it came down, so I had to cut the loss, and it made new lows. This is not a bad trade to take, you know, because if we do get that double bottom, you know, I'm looking at potentially risking just 2 cents, unless we just flush hard, you know, like a 1 to 2 cent risk, looking to make 8 cents, 5 cents or more back towards the highs, you know, 5 to 8 cents. So now we dip down, and this is where the red to green started, right at 934, 935. First 1 minute candle to make the new high over 212, and it starts to move. We hit a high of 24. It dips down. This trade I should have took with more size, but I wasn't quite confident and in tune with the stock, so I didn't want to put too much size out there. But I'm in at 17 on this dip. It's 24. It drops down quickly. I'm in, selling for a 3 cent pop, $30. Not bad, right? And so here we go. We hit a high of 28 and then a high of 31, and I start to watch the pullback. VWAP at this point in time was at 21. And so as we drop down right here, I bought the dip at 23, 2,500 shares. Not that big of size, you know. This type of trade we should have been taking more size. I don't think I had the chance to add to it. I wanted it to go slightly lower, so I unwinded that. You can see 27. In fact, let's click on it and take a look at those trades. Right, I'll walk through this list right after this trade so I don't forget. It's a long list today, right? I know a lot of you guys love to see this back end stuff here, but let's see. So this was 1,000 shares. We're in at 23, and we're selling 300 at 27. Another 500 rather, 27, and another 500 at 27. So not bad, right? And then we bought back more. It dipped. Okay, so it dipped again, and instead of selling this entire position, I just add to it, right? Because, you know, my average is still fairly low at 23. I add to this. It seems like what is this? Maybe 4,000 shares, 3,000 shares, something like that. And we sold a little too early. You know, we had this mistake yesterday. We sold some a little too soon here. But we did a good job with the rest, selling at 26, 27, 25, 27. It would not break over in the last 1,200 shares at 23, 22, basically flat. It would not break over the highs right here. This in this point in time, this was the first pullback after the nice move. Right, this right here. This was the second pullback, and you guys know my rule. I love to take the first pullback and the second pullback. The third pullback right here is a no-go. I refuse, you can put an X here, I refuse to trade this pullback. It's very rare that I trade this. So I took the first 2 pullbacks and wanted to sell through high of day, but it just wasn't going. Somebody was selling big, so I just stopped out most of it and covered the rest. Well, not covered, but, you know, sold the rest flat, essentially. It does hold the breakdown through 15. And I said it, you know, I said maybe it might even be worth buying it here. But, I didn't have the confidence around 15, 16, and it does push back to 26. Not bad. If you're an aggressive dip buyer, you probably did take it, right? Uh, let's see. I shorted it here. I noticed it was having the same issue with, not being able to break through key levels here. And on top of that, the 5-minute charting was fairly weak, right? We're curling back up right here. And let's see, where was it? Right here, actually, at 15. And, well, was it at 15? Okay, maybe I'm looking at the wrong area here. Let's see. 55, and then 10 o'clock. This trade is at 49. Yeah, so we're curling back up right here. And the volume profile was not that high compared to high of day volume on a green candle. High of day volume on a green candle, 4.6 million versus this candle right here with a high of 27 only having 1.5 million. So despite the bottoming wick, I felt like, being that we're in this weaker market, like if this is a hot market, this probably still goes through highs right here. I'm like, man, since we're in this weaker market, this is probably not going to go. So I got short, but you can see I wasn't confident to take size. I probably should have took 2,500 shares. I'm in at 23, I'm out at 17. 6 beautiful cents and great analysis. So, guys, don't forget, hit that thumbs up button, right? If you're enjoying the videos, you're enjoying the content, hit the thumbs up button. I'm keeping it real, I'm keeping it transparent. All the big green, all the big red, everything comes. Everything, I show everything. There is no trickery, there is no gimmicks, right? Everything is free, right? So be sure to enjoy the content whilst it's free, right? So here we go. In fact, let me take a sip of water. This might be a longer one. Let's see. Time, 11 minutes. Well, not too bad. We probably can wrap it up in another 5-10 minutes. All right. So, let's see. So I basically, leave out for a second, and then I come back, and in the Discord we had a few traders, Mighty, Red to Green, a few guys trading this thing over here, and they had some good call-outs, some really good call-outs. I'm like, you know what, I'll take a look at it, and I ended up buying a dip down here on this pullback, right? So we had a high of 39, we dipped down to lows of 34. I ended up taking the dip at 35, and I sold it into this range for small gains. But you can see only 1,200 shares, right? And in fact, I forgot. I said I was going to show the log, and I did, right? This was such a beautiful dip, right? This is kind of where Crispy entered the chat at 11:54, 11:55. I took this dip. I read it beautifully. I read it so beautifully. Oh my God. I might be on to something here with these dips. Not anything that I have, of course, don't already know, but actually, pulling the trigger and not being a deer in the headlights like a madman, insanity, seeing the same thing and not taking the trades, right? Not to get too much into that, but yeah. So, it dips down here at 11:55, and I nail this trade here. I'm long at 33 and 31, right? But I am only in with about 1,000 shares. This was the only bad thing about this trade. I'm only in with 1,000 shares. I was holding 12 or maybe 200 from this previous position, but this was poor. I needed to be in this minimum 5,000-6,000 shares, right? And so this curled up beautifully to high of day, 38, 38, 38. Now, the stock does not have a lot of range. So if this stock can go from 31 to 38 and give 7 cents, I need to be in there with at least 5,000 shares if I can see anything, Right? 5,000 shares, 7 cents is about what, 350, right? If my math is any good. So, we didn't take enough size, and it ended up pushing through high of day, right? It gave more of a move. I sold at 38 because I thought, man, it might just reject, 40. But it ripped right through 46, 47, sold off hard. I tried to buy this dip, but I kind of botched the trade. You can see I'm in at 37. It goes lower. These are always hard. Sometimes you can I got burned on this type of stuff before. where you think it's done dipping, but it's not done dipping, and you gotta really watch out. Right here as well, you gotta be very careful. But anyhow, so I ended up waiting. It forms this bit of an ABCD, the pivot here at 41. And so we're trying to get the break of 50. It does curl to 44. We got a few small trades in here. At this point in the day, I'm up 530, 525 on the stock. So I added a little bit more. I think at the end of the stream, I was up 370. So right here, I added a little bit, and then I added a little bit more right here. Crispy and Red to Green dominated this area. I mean, these guys were just absolutely just. It's interesting. It's interesting this lighter volume. I mean, I saw all the entries too, but I don't know. I felt like part of me felt like the trades weren't worth it. But then after looking at the end result, because these guys made like $700 each in these candles here, right? I saw all the entries they saw. So it's like I told myself, what the hell are you doing? Like ultimately, and it's kind of why I started trading it here. It's like you can't really leave this amount of money on the table. It's in a sideways consolidation, but it's very predictable in the price action and the print on the level 2, the time and sales. Why are you not taking the trades? Why are you just leaving money on the table? So I said, all right, enough is enough. We got to start getting back into it, And we did, and we made a little bit of something. So now, skipping ahead, I was watching it here for break of 50. I think I came back from lunch right here, actually. I missed this initial push here, but I thought I might have caught it, would have been able to catch a dip, and I did only 2 cents, right? But $50 though, right? Pretty good. But coming back now for the power of the hour. And this is where some of the more... You can see this is me trading dips primarily right here. And I think this is the commission proof kind of trading, A few trades, few entries, and that's it. But this is me doing both. And scalping the stocks require you to be active. And most of these gains aren't really me making 500, but they're what they are is $80 here, $50 there, 50, maybe 120, 80, a loss of 50, a loss of 50, loss of 50, plus 50, plus 50, plus 100, plus 100. Most of these gains were just $50, $80 gains, just adding up over and over and over again. Not necessarily seeing one big, huge trade, So if we look at what was happening, I had these levels and, lovely trend lines. You guys, and I owe the YouTube stream and the Discord for a lot of these improvements because I never used to use trend lines. And, it was you guys that recommended, hey, Relentless, why don't you use trend lines? What's wrong with you? It helps you to visualize the levels better. It helps you to remember all the levels, the pre-market levels, all those key levels that you kind of, might overlook and forget about. It reminds you. And we had all these levels mapped out. The after hour highs, the pre-market highs, you see this 259 after hour highs. It breaks the level, and look at how beautifully it holds it. I mean, to the penny. Is this luck? I don't think so. I think this is people recognizing that level was resistance and it now becoming support. It cannot be luck. It cannot be luck. It cannot be luck. It's not that random, I don't think. So this provided a great opportunity, and I did not get it with enough size. 59, what time is this? 3 o'clock. So let's see right here, right? My average was 60. I think I got shares at 59. Let's see. So I was in earlier and I cut the loss. Let's see. I want to believe this is that area. 15. Let me use this. It's a little faster. 15. Well, it's in the realm of 15, right? That candle was 5 minutes long. well, maybe might be a little earlier. Am I confusing myself here? Let's see. So we had trades 60, 60, 60s. Then we dipped. You see, and let's see, a minute 59 at 15:01. Looks like I sold the trade too. So I maybe didn't even catch this dip like I thought I did. Oh, well, that's pretty disappointing. Maybe I'm thinking about a different area. But yeah, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 59, 301, and 5 seconds. So it doesn't look like I caught the dip, um, you know, as well as I would have liked, because I bought 2,500 shares, but then I sold it for just 1 cent of gain. This was definitely a trade to hold a little longer. Hindsight being 2020. That's disappointing. I mean, that's kind of frustrating, really, to see how well this bottoming wick. I mean, it's a 1 minute candle. How did I not hold that longer? So as you guys will see, despite making this nice gain, there's work to be done, right? This is the beauty of a recap. It shows you the areas where you could have done better, right? Despite being green, you could have done better. And so this was a beautiful 5 minute pullback into a key support area. And then we had the 5 minute candle make the new high right here with this type of bottoming wick. If you can load up onto this 10,000 shares with a tight stop, what was this level? 55? Yeah, even 55 is not a bad stop. Risking 5 cents, right? If you can get 59 entry with a 5 cent stop, 10,000 shares, you're risking 500, right? But what is the potential reward? High of day is at 74. 74, 14 cents. Well, 15 cents if you're in at 59. 15 cents of potential profit position, 3-1. And to be honest, there's no need to sell until this at least is hitting the 5 minute candle is making the new high at 70. 60, high 60s minimum, 67, 68, 69 minimum to be selling, minimum. And that's even if you want to just take off 3,000 shares. But the bulk of this should be getting sold at 70, 71, and then holding like a quarter position over high of day. So this was ultimately pretty poor. I think this dip I caught at 60. Yeah, I caught this one. This is the one that I caught. So I missed this beautiful dip, but I caught the second one, and the low was 69. And let's see. So at 03, 15, 20, right? So we had more scalping in there. I kind of want to point out the bigger trades, right? Let's see. So we're long at 77. So this is where I first, I think, sized in, and then I had to cut the loss. Then I got back in lower, right here, 71. So I got back in 72. Let's see. Let's go to 1522 in the archives here. This I think was a good trade. So we're scalping away, and it's 74, 76, out at 76, not bad. And this was the I think the big scalp. Let's see. It's so hard to remember how everything played out. In at 77, 76, out at 77. All right, in at 75 and 74, out at 76. In at 71, out at 72. But I'm not understanding why there's such a big amount of big position here if I unwind it. Unless I didn't unwind everything from one of these earlier positions. I think this is me cutting a loss. Yeah, this was a losing trade. So I can't remember the full average of this, but I took a loss right here because I realized I was in too high. And here's where I bought back. I bought back right here, and this was where we saw a better trade. I believe. I hope. Let's see. 2,500. 2,500. So we took a little over 5,000 shares in this range. We sold some at 74. We got worried, and see, that's what happened here. This is the thing with this is the thing with this type of trade that I have to remember in the future, right? For tomorrow. And I did a good job of this ultimately during the stream, which is do not get out of the trade. Like right here, the trade is not failing. This is me worrying about P&L. This sell, all of this selling is me worrying about P&L. That's exactly what this is. Keeping it real, right? I'm in the stock. The trade idea is working. And because I see separation, I'm in at 70, 72, 71. I see 74, 75 on the ass. But we come back down. I start to feel like the trade is failing. But the trade is not failing until we break the lows. So right here, my stop is supposed to be where? At 69, 68. If my stop is at 68 right here, because 69 was the low of this candle, right? If I'm in here at 71, there is no way. You can see I sold 1574. So I sold 74, just something, because I realize it's stalling out. And so that's what and if I want to, that's what I need to do, right? I mean, I think this is still the wrong approach, but what I could have done was sell the entire thing 74 and then take the trade again, knowing that, okay, it's stalling out, it's going to come back down more than likely. But even then, you're still risking missing the trade by selling, because what if it doesn't come back down, right? It can stall out in volume going up, but it can hold high sideways and then make the new high. If it does that and I sell the entire thing, I'm not going to be willing to buy back at 74, 75 because I feel like it's too high. So right here, poor job. See, so you can see, like I still, it's like it's still not. It's almost like insanity. It's been years of this nonsense, right? Buying, I mean, it's so simple, oh my God, but it's so hard for me at the same time. I don't have no idea in the moment why I'm doing this. Set the stop in place and forget about the trade. Literally, put the stop right here at 69, and because from 71 to 69, what am I losing? $100 right here? It's nothing. It is such a tight risk. The risk to reward in this trade is, and this is where, and not even where, but this is why I should be taking 20 to 40,000 shares. Like, let's assume this stock, I mean, this one was pretty liquid. Let's assume that if I took 20,000 shares, I could have sold for the same 3-cent loss. I'm only risking $600. And from 69, high of day is at 81, right? I'm risking 600 to make 11 cents. 2,200. Why in the world would I sell this trade? So there's work to be done. I thought I caught that trade really well. I don't know. Maybe. So what? And I think that's what happened. So what? I bought back like a madman. So I sold it, realized it was still going, and then I bought it back. And so this is where the scalping kind of came back into. So once I botched the dip, the trade idea is still working, and I refuse to let the trade go. So I just scalped. As a scalper, from the stock being at 74, knowing it more than likely it'll get back to 81, why not scalp it, right? If I missed the dip or botched the dip. But really and truly, I just should have been in at 71, selling at 80 instead of all these extra trades. So, you got to do what you got to do, but, it goes to show that there's improvement that needs to be done. Yeah, and so, those are some of the bigger trades of the day, and then we caught a few small trades here and there. I think break of 80, we took 10,000 shares. Let's see. Break of 80. 6,000 there. 7,500 there. See, I didn't quite get it. You see this? This kills you on the inside. Look at the time difference right here. I took maybe I needed to hold it longer, but it's a high of day entry, and this is why I need to be in at 71, just holding, right? Because when you take this entry like this so high up, what if this rejects the high? And it's why the breakout trades are the way they are. I can't hold this too long. I'm buying it in the place where I think it's most likely to go to 82, 84, 86, 88, and so forth. So That's what all these shares are right here. Yes, I'm in at 79 in this exact moment based off of my level 2 and tape reading. I think 82, 84, 86 should happen right here, right now. I'm in. 2 seconds later, it doesn't happen. And I'm like, yep, I'm out. But you can see, for somebody who's holding at 70, still holding 25% of their position, they're still in this thing and selling at 85. So I botched both of the dips like a madman. Caught 3 cents here, $90. But and these are a lot of the trades that kind of made us like make money. 3 cents here, $90. 2 cent, well, more like 1 cent. But yeah, and that was the day. 1 cent, $50. Scratch trading. I'm disappointed. After doing this recap, I'm highly disappointed because ultimately the trades that I was supposed to be in, I'm supposed to be in right here 50,000 shares, and I'm supposed to be in right here 50,000 shares. I'm disappointed. Work to be done, ladies and gentlemen. That'll do it for the recap. Be sure to hit the thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you guys tomorrow, hopefully for a better day in the market. Stay safe, stay green. It's been Relentless Trader. I am signing out.